my memory wasn't what it used to be. There was just the everyday things, the writing a shopping list and leaving it on the bench. So I'd get to the shops and I knew I wrote a shopping list, but it wasn't in my bag. And so I wouldn't end up getting one of the things that I needed to get. Being called on the way home to pick something up and I'd never get it. Like I'd walk in and I'd totally forgotten that I was meant to be getting something on the way home. Around the house, just tasks half done. I'd be into it, but then, I'd get distracted. And so I'd totally forget that I was halfway through another task. Wouldn't really want to leave me in the kitchen making dinner because something would totally be forgotten, or I'd get something out, leave the oven on, or I'd set my phone for the alarm for something I had in the oven, but I'd leave my phone in the kitchen while I went to do something outside. So just feeling that my memory was letting me down. We had a book club that I'd been part of for 10 years or so, and I'd missed going to book club because I'd even read the book, but I forgot about going to the meeting. And I also didn't feel confident enough to go for a new job. And the neuropsychologist I saw, when I presented the issues that I felt I had and wanting a neuropsych assessment again, I'd actually had one 15 years before when I'd felt that my memory was impacting my work. And she was able to look at that and say, look, the way you're presenting, I think those problems are much the same. What are your goals? And I said, I'd like to feel like I was employable again. And this was suggested as something that maybe could be a way of learning some skills that would help me to feel more myself, more confident, more able to engage with life again. Yeah. Neuropsychologist I saw works with the memory rehab program and also primarily works with people who've had brain injury or neurological problems causing memory issues. So she's focused on memory, and that was one of the reasons why I chose to see her. And right from the beginning, I felt it was just really common sense, really was there for people who had memory issues. There was the reminders, there was the pre-learning, feeling like you were coming with some knowledge that was going to be discussed in the session. And then the homework task was super practical. So I think the first, this is going to be testing my memory. What was the first task? I think the first thing I did was I put a little Post-it note on my mirror in the bathroom to say to look at my diary, because one of the things was while I had a diary, I'd forget to look at it regularly. So the practicality of those points and putting them into practice and then getting back to getting back saying, yep, I've completed my homework, being reminded you had the pre-learning, all those things about the program, I just found it was really helpful and felt like, yeah, this is the right thing for me at the moment. Initially, I thought, am I going to find this too easy? But I didn't. So it's got steps in it. When you're doing the exercises, so you sort of feel like you're achieving step after step. So through the program with Memo Rehab, there was a number of different strategies. And the way it was presented was some of these strategies you'll think are common sense, they'll work for you. Others may not be particularly the type of thing that's going to work for you. Take what works. We talk, nutrition, sleep, exercise. And with sleep, I thought, I actually think my sleep's pretty good. But there was actually a sleep app that was suggested. So I tried that. And yep, I did get about 95% for my sleep, for my night sleeps. Yeah, look, some of the things that I found really helpful from the Memo Rehab program. I'd say the first one is working out that association or link with something, to look at my diary twice a day. So I'm doing it when I put my glasses on, because my glasses go on and off once a day. So I'm doing that. I have Post-it notes that I use if there's something that I need to remember. So stick on the back of the door. And I also use them in my car, because it's often like if I'm in the car, I've lost a jumper because I do volunteering and I left the jumper there, and when I went back, it had gone. So I use my mask. Now I hang it on the steering wheel because Post-it notes were falling off, but the Post-it note tells me what it was I was meant to remember. So that works well. And if I'm actually driving, I can put the mask on my door handle, and then I remember as I'm leaving the car that there was something that I needed to do. My phone is everything. So I'm using my phone, I use the alarms a lot. My day is punctuated by alarms for anything, like if I put on the washing to make sure I go and hang it out, if I put something in the oven, I not only use the alarm to get it out of the oven, but another alarm to make sure I turn the oven off because I tend to forget to turn it off. With your diet, I've cracked on my fish oil. So how do I remember to take my fish oil? Because I have a cup of tea first thing in the morning, so I remember my fish oil. And I'm on some regular medication, and with that, I have a reminder set on my phone, so that I'll take that if I haven't remembered to. So I think they're probably some of the. I mean, my notebook, I've always used a notebook, but remembering to use that, so I've got that extra time of writing things down. Oh, and my photos. My photos are in boxes all over the house. So I haven't quite scanned them, but I've got my photo boxes, which are which I'm getting all my photos into. So that was one of the helpful things, was removing the clutter in my head by attending to tasks like cleaning up the files on my computer and doing my photos. So, and my space, cleaning up my space. So those were some other types of helpful tips. One of the other things I felt was really good was, when you get something, put it in your diary straight away so you're not holding it in your head. Because that's what I would do. I would get something. I'd know I'd need to put it in my diary at some stage, but I think, well, it's not for weeks. I won't put it in my diary yet. But just that point of doing it, putting it in the diary straight away so it's not holding up your headspace. So remembering people's names is something I know a lot of people have problems with, and I did. And I took on a new role doing some volunteering, so meeting new people every few weeks. And I was finding this tricky. And it was actually the time when I was doing the course. So I tried some of the different strategies, but the one that I found most helpful was to think of a characteristic of the person. So like there was Brad, who's a little bit bendy, so I called him Bendy Brad. That's been really useful, and I've continued to use it and continuing to remember people's names better. The program has really improved my confidence in feeling that my memory can be reliable. I can be relied upon. Someone can tell me something, and I know one of those strategies that I've got I can use, or a combination of them, to be reliable. So that has made a huge difference. The other thing that's made a huge difference is feeling that um, there's hope that I can do things into the future. Like I was fine. I think I was finding it so difficult that I wasn't even taking on learning new things. And I want to be able to read and learn new things. And so to feel that I can do that is just so hopeful.